Tom's going to chat with you a little bit about the Outlook calendar.
I know some people use the Outlook calendar religiously, some people don't very much, and then there's those that are in between. But I would highly suggest making a strong effort on using the Outlook calendar as much as possible, because other members on your team, if you're on an Exchange server, can see your schedule, so they know to be efficient in scheduling your time, their time, group time, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do here is show you a little screen capture of setting up a quick calendar appointment and why. So you can see in the dashboard there, I'm going to the left toolbar and selecting calendar. You can see my calendar there for the work week. A lot of these are recurring appointments and schedules just because I need to know where and when my team needs me where. But I'll create a subject here for Outlook training number 2. The location will be the Counselor Maple Grove office. Get that typed in there so people know what's up. And then I'm going to mark this one for the 9th of March. And we'll do this one at 10:30 in the morning. It shouldn't last any more than an hour. I like to put an advanced reminder on there to make sure I'm there in a timely fashion, so at least an hour in advance, sometimes days or weeks in advance if I got to do more prep time on it. And then I'll categorize it. Maple Grove training, like I talked about, categorizing tasks, it just helps to sort things easier when you can go to the Find section in Outlook, and it'll find you anything related to that. I hit the invite attendees, and I add Mike and Sheldon, just like I'm typing an email. I put down some notes here in the body of the event itself on the calendar and put topics that we're going to cover. I go up to the Format Text toolbar. It's going to look a lot like Microsoft Word and anything else, which is great. So you can put in, I like to use bullet points and outline form a lot just because it just kind of lists out what we're going to be doing. And just kind of would rattle off whatever we're going to do based at this event. Maybe it's an office meeting and you're going to have presenters and you'd put the outline for that. But in this case, I'll just say, hey, here's what we're going to go over. We're going to go over some things for Outlook 2. We're going to talk about contacts, categorizing stuff, cleaning up your contacts, using Plaxo to clean them up. And LinkedIn is another place to make sure you're getting, the most current information on all your contacts in your database, because if you've got a database that's not up to date, it doesn't do you any good. And Facebook's another great place, not as efficient as Plaxo or LinkedIn because it's not as business oriented, but a great place to go find stuff if you can't find them in Plaxo or LinkedIn. So that gets set up, and I hit send, and it's off to their email box where those guys will get it. They can open it up and hit accept. It automatically populates in their calendar and notifies me as the meeting director that they've responded and that they're able to be in that meeting. It's just efficient. Great way to work. What you want to make sure you're always doing with your Outlook calendar when in creating that event, add your reminder. Put your notes in so you don't have to sit and worry about what was supposed to go on at that meeting. It's all there for you when it's fresh in your head while you create that meeting. And invite any attendees or other resources needed to the meeting. I'm going to have Mike talk about adding in your counselor outside emails into Outlook so you can use the tasks and the calendar and all that stuff to better manage your team.
Should just mention that if you have any questions on any of these items, drop us an email, send us a task in Outlook, send us a calendar event in Outlook, pick up the phone. We'd be happy to go through this on a one-to-one basis with you. We're going to start with adding our Counselor-Realty email address through IMAP. We'll click our Start menu, go to Control Panel. If you're using XP, double-click the mail icon in the control panel. If you're using Windows or Vista or Windows 7, you'll search for mail and double-click that icon. We'll click the Email Accounts button, and that'll bring us to this screen where we're going to click the New button to add our one-in-one email account. We're going to manually configure the settings here. Sometimes for Gmail or MSN or AOL, Outlook is smart enough to be able to find these settings on its own. In this case, one-on-one isn't big enough for them to be able to figure that out. We'll select Internet Email, which consists of POP, IMAP, and HTTP. Make sure we grab IMAP from the drop-down here. Very important that you take your time with these settings. I'm going to do it right the first time. So our step 8 is enter your name. That's how you want your email to appear. So John Smith. You'll see here we've typed in John Smith, John's email address. We've got IMAP selected for account type. Our incoming mail server and outgoing mail servers are listed here as well. Be very careful to use the same punctuation they're using here. IMAP.1on1, smtp.1on1.com. You'll notice our username is the same as our email address, and our password is whatever was issued to you when you set up the account or changed your password last. Our next step is to click More Settings on the right. In More Settings, we're going to go to the Outgoing Server tab. We'll have the opportunity to name this as our work email or one-on-one or counselor or whatever we do at that time. We're going to make sure that our outgoing server box requiring authentication is checked, and that we're going to use our same settings for outgoing as our incoming mail server. Clicking the Advanced tab, we'll get to our next step. Here's where we're going to change our ports. Very important. Our ports tell the email where to go and how to get there. In this case, we're going to change the incoming server, our IMAP server that is, to port 993, clicking SSL as our encryption model. For our outgoing server, we're going to choose TLS as the encryption. We'll change our port in this case to 587. We'll click our OK button, save our settings, and now we're going to test our account settings. 9 times out of 10, this works just perfectly. Clicking our account settings, we'll have success. If by chance you don't have success, start over on these steps 1 through 14 and find your punctuation error or your spelling error. That'll generally take care of it. We'll click Next. We'll click Finish, and we'll have successfully added our counselor email address. The next step we're going to do is we're going to add our Gmail account into Outlook. First thing we'll do is open up Gmail in Internet Explorer or Firefox. We'll go to our home screen. You'll see that I use my Gmail account mostly for commercial use, so I don't have all that junk in my corporate email. Upper right-hand corner has my mail settings. We're going to click that. This will bring us to the settings screen. Scrolling down, or scrolling on the top toolbar, we're going to go to forwarding and POP. We'll check our IMAP setting is enabled under IMAP access towards the bottom of this screen. Let's see, we have enable IMAP clicked. You'll notice step 2 will give you instructions on how to set up Outlook or your iPhone for Gmail. Kind of handy. Jumping back into Outlook, we'll add the account into Outlook. Starting from our dashboard where we'd start an email or a calendar event or a task event, we'll go to our File menu again, always in the upper left-hand corner. In this case, we're going to go to Account Settings. We'll go to New. So we're going to add a new email account. You'll notice that my Exchange server is my default account right now. That's why it has the checkbox. Adding a new account, we'll click Next. Type in my name as I'd like it to appear. And I'd like it to appear with proper capitalization. The email address that I added with Gmail, and my password associated with that account. We'll retype the password, taking care to make sure that both passwords match. Clicking Next. Now we're going to let Outlook and Gmail do all the work. Gmail and Outlook have connected. Now we're sending a test message to make sure we're communicating properly. We are in fact communicating properly, and it is configured. We've set up our Gmail account. Clicking Finish, you'll notice that my Exchange server is still the default account. Now, when I open up a new email by clicking New Email in the upper left-hand corner, I'll have the option to choose either my Exchange account as the default. I won't have to make any changes to use that account. But if I want to use that Gmail account to send a message to a buddy about a email string, a funny joke, or something like that, I'll be able to choose that Gmail account, and it won't go through my corporate server. I could also choose a corresponding signature to that Gmail account. Make sure and like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Loans in Focus. Always find any good information and mortgage calculators and current interest rate information at www.loansinfocus.com. You can reach Tom by cell at 612-501-2990. You can reach Mike by cell at 612-730-2939. Our next event will be the March 9th Outlook 2 meeting, where we'll talk a little bit about contact management, contact cleanup, organization through folders and categories. We'll recap a little bit of this training and take a look at Plaxo, LinkedIn, and Facebook.